Hey everyone, how are you? And welcome to a spring Motivational Monday. I thought I would brighten up the colors today and do a little spring. I don't know about you, but I think many of us are feeling ready to be out and about and enjoy uh, all the wonderful things about nature and being out and about soon. Some places around the world, around the country, are opening up their restrictions for living, let's say, back to normal. But let's rephrase that. In today's Motivational Monday, the myth that work has to be hard. I'm going to cover a pretty big topic here today. And in the context of everything that's been happening with the COVID-19 pandemic. If you're watching me live, this is Kick-Ass, Bring Your Soul to Work, Coach Mo Faul. I am the founder and creator of the Kick-Ass Career Workshop, where we take women through a 12-week transformational journey back to their soul, and then weave that into their career strategy so they can land their dream job. It's a wonderful, wonderful transformational workshop. And many of our clients tell us that they have found their smile. They have not been as happy in life as since 20, 30 years ago, sometimes ever. You know, the soul of who you are is really the essential ingredient of you living life the way it was meant for you. Each and every one of us, 7 billion human beings on this planet, who are collectively experiencing what we're going through right now together, each one of us, every single one of us has a unique soul signature. And that soul signature, and hello everyone, Anne Marie, someone anonymous. You may have to put your name actually in the comment. If you don't have access to allowing StreamYard to show your name, it doesn't do it. So Pat, nice to see you in the nation's capital. God bless you. I have a lot of family there. So here's what I know after working with over 700 women and a few men in my transformational coaching practice, dare we say. It is a coaching practice. Hello, LK. Nice to see you as well. What I know to be true is if your life isn't feeling good, it's because your soul has been deadened, turned down, turned off, a lot of times by getting beaten back by stress, personal and job trauma, perhaps getting passed over, not appreciated, marginalized, taken for granted, all the things that happen in one's life and career. Oftentimes when we get pushed to the side or make choices in life that tend to move us toward more of a disempowering state, we begin to shrink inside. Sometimes when we're in a stressful environment, ongoing, what happens is that the fear brain, the stress brain, overtakes who we are and what we think. And I got to tell you, I'm in such a passionate flow right now with wanting to help humanity change our relationship with work. You know, work doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be this stressful thing that we barely endure. Your soul wants to contribute in the world. And because we live in this world where you got to pay the bills and buy stuff and prepare for the future, because we live in that world, it's to your best interest to make the most money and have the most responsible and advantageous job that you can possibly go for. And so many of the people I work with, they come to the table of feeling that if they have a higher level job, it's going to swallow them up. Or perhaps the responsibility is going to take away so much from their family that they shun it and they don't want it. Or perhaps being in a manager or director or even a VP role has been so difficult that they can't imagine the next level up. I've been through all of those phases in my career, and I can tell you a few truths. Number one, work does not need to be hard. And as I say so often on these Facebook Lives and my podcasts, my radio show, every time I get a chance to talk about this, I want to shift the perspective of what work is all about. Work isn't this drudgery that we have to get through in order to live. Work is an extension of who we are and what we're all about, the contributions that we want to give because of our natural gifts and talents and because of who we are. I was, hey, Ginger, nice to see you. It's been a while. Danielle, nice to see you. Paula, hello there. When we contribute our true essence and our natural gifts and talents, and we're able to weave that in our education, our experience and expertise, we can live in this world in a way that feels purposeful no matter what we do for a living. If you have degrees in technology and IT, computer science, you can absolutely live your life's purpose through that work. You don't have to shun the traditional work role in order to have your life purpose. It's not an either or proposition. It's a blending and weaving of who you are at the soul level. And when you do that, you loosen the chain of needing to be stressed out. You loosen the grip of, well, work's just hard and can't wait for the weekend and woohoo, it's Friday. You know, I got to say that hardly ever on my team do we ever say, yay, it's Friday. It almost feels a little bit actually like a disappointment that it's Friday because we enjoy working with each other so much and the work that we do. Now, granted, you could say, well, you're changing women's lives and helping lift souls. And of course, everyone would love what they're doing. But you can't really get to this work until you've done some really, really interesting things with yourself and with your soul. But I'm going to say this. The last 6 to 8 years of my career, I enjoyed being a leader. I enjoyed being an executive. Did I work hard? Sure. Did I travel and get on airplanes and go to intense meetings and have client difficulties? And yes, a lot of client successes. Absolutely. Did I have employees who sometimes disappointed me and sometimes stressed me out because I didn't know what was going on and I had to pull information out of them? I would rather have gotten basically through them more easily. Absolutely. But I enjoyed being who I was meant to be in the world through that work. 25 or so years prior, I was trying to be someone else, and I was trying to fit into a series of expectations of not only who I thought they wanted me to be, but also what I felt that I was supposed to be. And this is what causes stress. This is what makes work hard for us. Because if we are being someone and doing things that aren't matching up with who we are, of course it's going to be hard. If it's not in our genius zone, of course it's going to be hard. I had the great privilege of being a guest for a friend of mine. She hosts a forum and a gathering, a meetup. It's usually in person, but yesterday it was not. It was online. For women who are 49 and older to get together and talk about life and enjoy conversation. And again, when we're in person, they enjoy hikes or doing certain things. And so I was talking about just this topic. And what we all come to find out is this: we all want to enjoy the work we do. We all want to feel like not only that it's our work, but that it's purposeful and that it's looping back into a level of satisfaction for us. And usually the first 10 years of our work life, 21 to 31-ish, we're just working hard to establish ourselves and to kind of get a footing out there. And then in our 30s, we're feeling like, well, it's my time to start climbing the ladder and getting more responsibility and getting paid more. Sometimes women take a back seat with child rearing and taking care of the family as a higher priority than their work. Doesn't have to be that way. You can certainly combine the two. But then when we get into our 40s, we're realizing that life is clipping along and we better do something that is going to be more impactful and feel better. And sometimes by the 50s, we feel that the time clock is against us and we better darn right get it done now, because we can't possibly imagine another 15 or 20 years feeling like this. And most of us who are working right now will be working into our 70s. Both of my parents did. And in our generation, we most certainly will be making contributions in the world and earning some income, whether that be part-time or full-time, well into our 70s. So the way of the world now that we are in what many of us, I'll just say, are calling the Great Awakening. There was a really beautiful, beautiful thing on the internet and Facebook this weekend about the Great Realization. And I want to call this our Great Awakening. Every human being on this planet has had their life turned upside down. And everything that we took for granted has more or less either been taken away or it's been held back from us in a new way that we've never experienced. And all 7 billion people on this planet are experiencing the exact same thing. What I see my clients doing and being in the world is something different. Sure, they're experiencing all of this and going through it just like everyone on this planet is, but they're able to have a deeper understanding of who they are and what they want in life, and to pursue that, and to have the outside world be less of an impact, and their inner world, their soulful power and their soulful desires being the greatest impact of how they live their lives. In my kick-ass workshop, we're helping our women carve out the niche in their career strategy, regain their footing and up-level themselves to levels of work that they have previously dismissed or thought that they could not attain. Because the fear brain, after years of being stressed out and pushed to the limit, the fear brain takes over and convinces us that we're not worthy of more, that it's not possible, that it's just going to be too hard. And so we settle for less. Our team does thousands and thousands of clarity calls every year. I personally have done between 5,000 and 6,000 clarity calls over the past 5+ years. And I know what's going on out there with women who are working. I know what my 25-year career was as a leader and the 5 years or so prior to that. I'm over a 30-year career of working and basically moving myself up the ladder. And what I know for sure is that we make work hard because we aren't taught a different way. That's number one. Number two, we don't use the power of our soul to inform and infuse the energy that we bring into our work. And number three, we're trying to prove ourselves so much, so hard to get ahead or to not lose our job or to be appreciated or recognized, because we have real human needs for that. And what happens is that we're burning ourselves out, living to the external. When our focus is living to the external world, we're depleting the internal world by default. If you're not spending time each and every day filling your soul's tank up, it's going to be depleted. And it gets depleted, and then you become a smaller version of you. And you get so lost that you may not even recognize yourself. And here's what happens. The defense mechanisms of trying to survive take over. So you're in survival mode. And so maybe you get passed over for a promotion. And then you start to justify it and say, well, I didn't really want that promotion anyway. It would have been too much work, and I didn't really like the new boss anyway. And so we make all of these rationalizations because our defense mechanisms, these wonderful, powerful things that allow us to survive in the world, take over and start running the show. If you've seen my free webinar, the 5 shifts to bring your soul to work to land your dream job, you know that there are key aspects of what we fix in the workshop. And these are the things that you have to keep in mind. The only way you're going to avoid an overly stressful scenario is if you bring your soul's energy back up and you claim who you are at a deep, deep soulful level. That doesn't mean that you might be doing a bakery for a living. It doesn't mean that you're pursuing your hobby as your career. It means that you're bringing your true attributes of who you are as a unique soul on this planet in through the things that you know how to do already. When you weave who you are at a soul level into your education, your expertise, and your experience, and you're able to craft that most perfect career strategy that matches the best parts of the inner you with the best parts of the outer you. Then you can get in your flow. But you see, the brain wants to make work hard. The brain wants to focus on what's difficult. The brain wants to be stressed out because it's what it thinks it's supposed to do. I mean, we're all just playing into our expectations. And the amazing thing about how the universe works is that when we focus on something and tell ourselves strong beliefs, that's the life that we begin to unfold. And it's subtle and it can be very tricky. But if you're a client of mine, you know exactly how we overcome these things. If you're living a normal life of working and raising your family and grocery shopping, doing laundry, planning for vacations, you may not be in sync with your soul. And the ways that we know this is if you're feeling that you're overthinking things, if you're rationalizing why you're not doing things. Those are basically the top two ways that we can tell that we're living in the head, in the fear brain, versus living in the soul. When you live in the soul, you make decisions quicker. You are appealing to your higher inner wisdom, your divine self, and life is easier. So many times when our clients land their dream job and they really get into their flow, they feel a little lost at first because life is easier than they ever thought and it's more enjoyable than they ever thought, and they feel almost that they're doing it wrong. Because for decades, you were convinced that life had to be hard, that work had to be hard. And when you're convinced of that, when you're convinced that work has to be hard and life has to be hard, you're going to make sure that it matches up, because that's how wonderful and awesome we are as human beings. We match up our inner beliefs to the outside world. That's our sense of living our lives. We bring it together with how we feel and think about things to what our life is. And that's the most basic and rudimentary aspects of how the universe works. Now, this whole law of attraction thing isn't something that gets turned off and on if you want it. It's really all about having the thought, feeling, consistency with who you are and what you want. And you're already living in the law of attraction. You may not know it. You may not like what it's bringing. And I have so many people who say to me, why doesn't the law of attraction work for me? It works for you 24/7. Whatever is happening in your world, I got to tell you with such a loving heart, please, whatever is happening in your world is an outer reflection of how you think and feel about yourself and the world. It's an absolute match. And not too many people want to hear that. Not too many people want to take responsibility for that. Of all the 7 billion people on this planet, probably less than 5% of the human population really wants to take full responsibility for their life. Most people living on this planet, unfortunately, find it just easier, or they've learned that the most adaptive mechanism is to not take responsibility, to blame someone or something for their lot in life. And although that might appear on the surface to be an easier way to live, it is absolutely the hardest way to live. The easiest way to live is to take full responsibility for who you are and what you have in your life. And if you don't like it, to do something powerful about it, to do something really different, to engage your soul at a level that will be bringing you back to life from the inside. Look, if you're feeling a little bit more dead, a little bit less alive, a little bit more disillusioned, it's because your soul is not alive and guiding you. I feel so often that I could just say this every single day and help crack through the expectations of what you have been taught to believe that the world and life is all about. But it's all about you finding your inner flow and being able to live in that beautiful divine grace of who you truly are as a soulful human being. Here's a warning for you. This great awakening that we are in right now, the process that we are in of having this extremely difficult pressure put on top of every single one of us, our lives turned upside down, has caused each human being on this planet to reflect on who they are and what their life is all about. So you've been thinking about how hard your life is, or how hard work is, or that your life isn't where you want it to be. It is a good time. It is the best time. It is the only time now to start looking at what it is you want in life, who you want to be. And rather than discount it by old stories of the fact that it's not possible, I'm going to task you. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to expect you, dear human souls, to take the time now to make your life right, to make your life good and easy and beautiful and wonderful. Because if this hasn't been enough pressure on you to make that happen, then dear souls, I don't know what would possibly do that for you. As I said last week or the week before, for me, it was a double mastectomy and breast cancer that brought me to my knees and into the deepest inner work I've ever done. You don't need that. You don't need to have gotten the coronavirus and suffered. Just living on the planet over the last 2 months has been pressure enough for all of us to take a look at who we are and what we want in the world. And life does not need to be hard. Work does not need to be hard. You can reconnect with all the things that matter to you and have a brilliant career. I'm in the workshop of my soul right now, redefining the work that I do and bringing more value and more tools and strategies to my clients. I've enhanced some of the graduate programs that I have, and I'm beginning to write a book that's going to be different than, I'll dare say, any other book that's out there. Because just the word work itself is a problem. Every single human soul on this planet wants to be valuable and contribute. And as a human on this planet where we have homes and cars and clothes to buy and food to have, making money and having money makes all of that much easier. And when you move up your contribution status in an organization, you're going to earn more money. And if you're not feeling worthy of it, or if you don't know how to manage it, or if you feel that it would just blow your expectations, you're not going to be able to earn that level of money. You will get caught in the trap of your own identity limitations. This is some of the work we do in the graduate programs after my workshop. But I'm going to tell you this, no matter where you are in your career, everything is exactly what you perceive and think to be that you are valuable. Your worth is showing up in your career. And wouldn't it be nice if work wasn't hard? If you were able to contribute at the level that felt great for you? And if you were able to earn the money that would make your life easier, have your family enjoy more, and put away money that would secure your future better? That's what we do. That's the gifts and the skills, the strategies, and the coaching and expertise that we bring to all of our clients. And when they lean into that, they make $1 million more than they would ever have made on their own. Or in some cases, $2 million more. I have women in my workshop in their 30s and 40s, and they're making $50,000 to $80,000 more than they made before. And if you multiply that over the rest of the years of their career, it's a staggering amount of money. But most important to that, they learn how to not have work be hard. They learn how to celebrate themselves. They have true strategies to keep bringing their soul alive and bringing their power forward. True strategies that work. And ways to then be better parents, spouses, partners, sisters, daughters, friends, and neighbors. When you have true strategies to do all of that, life is not hard and work is not hard. It's an extension of you. That's not hard. It's enjoyable and fun and free. And then you don't have to spend all of your days proving your worth. You show up as your worth, and you get paid your worth. And you're able to negotiate and have crucial conversations and do the things that you need to bridge the difference between who you are and what you want to achieve in the world. And you're able to have powerful conversations with bosses and peers and colleagues. It's so much more freer to have that going on and to be that version of you. Work does not have to be hard. As a matter of fact, when work is hard, it deadens and kills the soul. It is the thing that wrecks it all. It is the thing that brings you down. So I'm even just going to take this off. Thank you very much for taking that off. I was starting to get a downer just thinking about all the times so it's like work is hard, work is hard. No, it's not. No, it's not. If you'd like to get started in your journey of reclaiming who you are, and you'd like during and after this great awakening for you to live the life that truly feels awesome, that's what we're here for. Our Kick-Ass Career Workshop is a fantastic journey that you make with other women. You get fantastic coaching and the expertise. We help more women get jobs on this planet than maybe anyone, but feel free to let me know if you know someone who's doing more of it than we are. We help women claim their freedom of their soul and make life enjoyable, live in their genius zone, and then continue to have the talents and the gifts at their fingertips that they had all along. But they hid them, they shoved them down, they were protecting them because they didn't want to get hurt. And you can get very hurt in life and work. I know. I've been there. I've gotten very hurt in life and work. I've been wearing my please hire me, please promote me, please appreciate me. I wore that on my sleeve way too long. And I kept having to run hard and hard and hard. And things didn't ever seem to click in place. And it wasn't until I came back from my breast cancer journey that I actually found the secret to clicking that in place. And that's to find your soul. Bring your soul back into the picture and make it the most dominant aspect of who you are and what you do for a living. And that beautiful blend of your intensely beautiful power of your soul with all the things you know how to do in the world and that you enjoy doing. Look, if you're good with numbers and spreadsheets and you're a great accountant and you can think through things and numbers tell stories for you and you just absolutely love helping business decisions and that sort of thing, bring that with your soul and it's just like, just amazing. So please take responsibility for your life and your career. It is yours. It is not anyone else's. Your spouse can't help you with this. Your boss doesn't have the time. And truly, your boss's responsibility isn't to lift your career. It's your responsibility. Your boss may be great and may help you and may do all sorts of things to put you in the right room and give you the big projects. But if your soul isn't shining bright, you're just going to have to keep working harder and harder. And you know what eventually happens? Even if you have the best boss ever, you eventually shun the extra work because you don't know how to handle it because you're working from the outside. When you work from the inside, when your soul is shining, you know how to live more powerfully. This is my message to you this week. This is my message to you all weeks. But in particular, I wanted to remind you that work does not have to be hard. Your life does not have to be hard. And the more you play with your soul, the more you bring that into the picture, the more you are lit up from the inside, the higher you can go, the more contribution and impact you can make in the world and at your work or at a better workplace. And the easier it is for you to be in that flow in a powerful way and truly have fun. Truly have fun at work. Imagine that. No matter what you do for a living, you can have fun. Yes, you can. But first you have to find your soul and your true inner power. And then it's just a wide open road. It takes inner work. It does. It takes getting to the truth and it takes taking responsibility. I'll be honest with you. Well, I'm always honest, but I'm just going to throw that out there for this statement I'm going to make. We do 200 plus clarity calls per month, my team and I. And about 10 to 15% of those folks actually have the inner responsibility light turned on that now is their time and they're ready to go. And we understand that and appreciate it. So having the clarity call will set the stage for you to truly understand what's really going on. And the workshop may or may not be the right fit. That's okay. I actually am very committed, and so is my team, in helping you get to the truth of what's really going on. Because you may not really know what's really going on. You may be on a superficial delusion of what's going on. And I feel that the only way that you can truly make changes is if you know for sure what's really going on. And we're going to diagnose that with you and for you in a powerful way. That's what the clarity call is all about. If you want to make the changes and you're ready to be coached and be decisive and really rally your inner troops to make the change that you know you need to make and that you really want to make, but no one has showed you how to do that. We're here to do that. The expert coaches I have on my team and the workshop that I've created, the proven formula that I have created, is a brilliant way to transform your life and your career. And it's a lot of fun because you do it with other women who are having an awesome journey as well. Just last week, we spoke to a woman who was furloughed from her job, and she was in a pretty responsible job. She was in New York City and had a job in this particular company, pretty high level, for 12 years. And she was a bit of an outspoken sort of person. But this job that she had for 12 years was with a very bully boss. And she was working her butt off for this bully boss, stayed there for 12 years. And she couldn't see. She couldn't see that she couldn't stand up for herself and really honor herself. She thought because she was an outspoken person that she could stand in her power. I reminded her that she'd been in a very oppressive work situation for 12 years, and perhaps she's really truly forgotten how to stand in her power, even though she might talk her mind. She's not truly living in her power. And it breaks my heart when I or one of my team members speaks to a woman who's hurting so deeply inside and books a call because she knows there's something that she's missing, and yet is not really able to step up to the plate for herself. Sometimes the defense mechanisms and the power of our psychology overrides the truth. And if I had my way, I'd have everyone on a transformational journey so they could find their truth and find themselves and be happy with themselves and be happy with life, and to not be suffering, and to not be a critic of themselves or others, and to live in their flow and just to know what that feels like. There's not a better feeling in the world when you feel your soul's power and flow and you're living there. Some of our clients tell us that when they actually go on their interviews after they've done the first couple of weeks of the work in the workshop, they can't believe who's talking on the interview. They can't believe how easy it is for them to talk about themselves and be in a conversation with strangers on an interview and just feel the flow and the ease. One of our beautiful graduates just 8 weeks into her new job, bought a new home in her new town where she's claimed this new job, and she and her boyfriend bought this new home, and the smile on her face on the picture that she posted celebrating her new job and her new home just lit my heart up so much. And this is a very talented professional woman who just never really felt that she had hit her stride and always knew that there was more for her to contribute and just couldn't get it out, just couldn't find that gear. But she found it. We helped her find it. And now she's living in a wonderful job at a fantastic organization. Her boyfriend has his dream job, and they're claiming their next chapter. And this is a woman who's been through a lot of heartbreak, and she had lost her job months ago, I believe right at the end of the year, last year. That's what I'm committed to, getting that kind of dream going for as many women on this planet as possible. Because that's what life is for. And so many of us didn't learn how to do that. So many of us were told we weren't worthy. So many of us were told that life was going to be hard and work was going to be harder. We just had to gut it out. That's no way to live. And now that we're in this great awakening, it is not the way to live. It is not the way that we're going to see success going forward. The way we're going to see success going forward is for you to find that gear of your soul and to incorporate it into everything you do. Everything. And everything that you are on this planet. Pat, if the bully boss example spoke to you, you might want to listen to the replay, the podcast of my radio show I did a couple of weeks ago, the repeating boss problem. Actually, if that's your current situation, you definitely want to book a clarity call, mofaul.com/live clarity. You could visit my radio show, which is every Thursday, 12 noon Eastern on Unity Radio. It's mofaul.com/Unity Radio. And the archives are available there, so you can listen to past shows. One of our lovely, successful clients told me that she listened to all of those podcasts while she was in the workshop. So she really got herself supercharged up with all of those messages and strategies that I talk about on that radio show. So fantastic life for you ahead. But you've got to do a few things. You've got to shift your perspective about what life is all about. It's not hard. It's easy and beautiful and wonderful. But if your belief mechanisms and your habits are into it's hard, you're going to have to change that and transform your belief system. You don't do that by convincing yourself of something. You do that by bringing your soul's energy forward and having the best parts of you light up your life. And then your belief systems can change organically. And we help coach you through that in our workshop and bring you to a fantastic strategy for landing a career match with your soul. And most of the time it's in the same exact field that you're in. It's just the pieces are just off, or that you're attracting the repeating boss pattern or a bully boss, or you're just not sure what's wrong. So many of the women we work with, they don't even know what's wrong. They just know it is wrong and it doesn't feel good. So we'll help you get clear on that on your career clarity call. Again, that super fantastic complimentary call is mofaul.com/live clarity. And there we'll help you uncover it all and understand what the real process might look like to help you. And if not, we'll give you some other ideas and some strategies so you know exactly what's next for you. I want you to transform your life for you. And whether it's with me or another coach, your beautiful soul is waiting to be awoken. Your beautiful soul is waiting for you to discover that life can be in a wonderful, glorious flow. Work and life do not have to be hard unless you make it so. So let's take a moment this week to declare your great awakening and what is ahead for you. And take a look. If things aren't feeling right, if things aren't feeling great, you better get it right, because this great awakening is going to be pulling you forward. And if it's kicking and screaming, okay. But if it's uncovering your beautiful soul and the great awakening is your time, let's make it happen. We've got the answer and the solution for it, and happy to do it. This is Coach Mo Faul, mofaul.com. Book your free complimentary clarity call at liveclarity.com. No, it's mofaul.com/live clarity. And we'll see you on the other side. Have a great rest of your week. This is Motivational Monday. Coach Mo everywhere on social media and mofaul.com. Let's get that life and career to be easy and flowing and at a higher level of contribution and compensation for you. Check you out next time. See you later.